Now let's see how we can implement caching in our app. So let's say we want to store our listings in a cache so they're available if the device goes offline. So earlier I told you that we have three options for caching data. We can use async storage, secure store, or SQLite. Now for caching the listings, it doesn't make sense to use secure store because it has a very limited size and we should use it only for storing sensitive data. So we're left with two options. SQLite is useful if you want to execute queries on relational data, but here we just want to store an array of objects in the cache and retrieve it later on if we can't get it from the server. Here we don't have complex relational data that we need to query. So we're left with one option, async storage. Now on Android, async storage uses SQLite under the hood, but on iOS, it stores data either in a serialized dictionary or in separate files, depending on the size of the data. That's an implementation detail we don't have to worry about. So we just store key value pairs in async storage and let it figure out how to store them on each platform. Having said that, we shouldn't use async storage directly. We should hide it behind a cache layer that we can easily use in our app. So our cache layer is going to automatically serialize or deserialize objects, so we don't have to call json.stringify or json.parse every single time. Our cache layer is also going to apply a timestamp to each item and then figure out if the item is expired or not. And if expired, it can automatically clean up async storage to free up some space. That's why we need a layer or an abstraction on top of async storage. Without this layer, these details would leak to our application code. If tomorrow we decide to change how we want to store data in the cache or change the expiry logic, then we'll have to modify a million places in the code. We don't want that. We want to encapsulate all these details in a single place, and that's why we need a caching layer. So next, let's see how we can implement a caching layer.